welcome to Side Roads. I'm Carlos, and this is a 2025 brand new Chevrolet Equinox. Special thanks to the team at Confort, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, and Cadillac for providing the car for this video. The 2025 Chevrolet Equinox. I really wanted to drive this one, and this is one of the pleasures of doing this. So this channel is fairly new, but I love cars in general, and I have been always very excited when a new car comes in, because I get to see the difference and improvements and the things that the brand have done new and all those type of things. So now I'm living the dream, because not only I get to drive all these new cars all the time, so I feel like a child in a candy store, but also I'm starting now to see that in person and being the one who drive the previous generation and then drive the newer generation, which as just a car lover, you don't always get to do that, because you have your car and you are not driving cars around unless your family have one. So in this case, I already reviewed the Equinox previous generation, so watch that video in the channel, and now I'm driving this one, which to me personally is a super cool experience, because this is it. Now I'm seeing everything. I can compare the two things. I can appreciate the improvements. So it's really cool. I'm having the best day ever today. I'm super excited about this car. So the Equinox 2025 has a carry-over engine. It comes with a 1.5 liter 4-cylinder turbo engine that produces 175 horsepower and 203 pound-feet of torque. So those numbers are, right there at the average of the segment. It's not the most high in terms of the horsepower, but it's really good on torque. And torque is what gives you that sensation of power, especially when you are out of a stop on a lower rev or a lower speed, because it makes the car really peppy, makes the car, to feel like have a lot more power than it has. So that 175 horsepower combined with a 203 pound-feet of torque is a really good combination, and as an overall, puts the car in an interesting spot in the segment. Which, by the way, this is a compact SUV, which is, SUVs in general, but the compact and the subcompact classes are the most crowded ones. So Chevrolet have to do something about it to stay relevant, and man, have they done that. So the one, I'll talk about driving dynamics later, but this is where the power and the torque it is about. Now, some of the safety features for this car, which the list is really long, are things like blind zone steering assist, enhanced automatic emergency braking, follow and distance indicator, forward collision alert, front pedestrian and bicyclist braking, intersection automatic emergency braking, lane keep assist with lane departure warning, rear cross traffic braking, rear park assist, reverse automatic braking, and side bicyclist alert. So, as I said, those are a lot. And by the way, I was parked and a car was approaching me from the side, and the car gave me a warning. So that was pretty cool. efficiency for the 2025 Chevrolet Equinox is 10 liters per 100 kilometers city and 8.2 liters per 100 kilometers highway, which is 26 mpg city and 31 mpg highway. Price for the Equinox starts in Canada around 35,000 Canadian dollars. The top trim goes around 42,000 Canadian dollars. In the US, the base price starts around 29,000 US dollars. The top trim goes to around 33,000 US dollars. So the Equinox comes in 3 trims: LT, Active, and RS. Both the Active and the RS have the same starting price. Chevy has some packages to be added, so the price will change here and there a little depending on the packages. Some of the trim comes with some of those packages already in, but the Active and the RS separates themselves from a styles perspective. So the exterior is different. The Active has all-terrain tires, for example, and smaller wheels with, you know, bigger side tires, and some aesthetics, some outside. The grille is different and things like that. The RS is now the more sporty slash luxury trim for the Equinox, and I think it's cool. And the LT, it looks great still, and you can add packages to it, so you will find one that fits exactly what you are looking for and what you like. The 2025 Chevrolet Equinox interior. Well, like recent models from Chevrolet, this is really nice inside. Chevrolet is moving towards this layout and this design across their lineup, and it's really, really nice. It will be really hard for someone to walk away from this car after sitting inside this cabin. So the materials are good and soft, and they look good and feel high quality and expensive. There is a little bit of hard plastic where in the typical areas that you find hard plastic in all cars, so that's good. It has also this fabric, I would say, material here in the dashboard and in the doors. The armrest, it looks really good. It adds some visual interest. There is not the typical material you'll find, so I like it a lot. I have this red contrast stitching here and across the cabin, so it's really, really nice. The steering is leather wrapped and heated, and it's really thick, so I like that. And the design of the steering I also like a lot. This one comes with automatic up and down. All the windows are powered, of course, but this is one touch up and down for the driver. The driver's seat also is electric or power seat, and the passenger is manual, but I think you can add a package to make the passenger seat also powered. The seats are really comfortable as well, and they are heated in the front. So the air conditioning controls are hard buttons, which I really appreciate, and have all the functions that you need right here. And the knobs for the temperature are nice and have a little graphic there, and it moves when you change it. So all this looks good and it's nice. There is a little bit of shiny gloss black plastic here, and this is the touch area, so I'm not overly crazy about that, but there are plenty of cars that still comes with that. There is a little bit of piano black here as well. It's a small area too. After seeing this, I will prefer for them to use something different, but it's good. It looks good. At least this adds a little bit of dimension to the cabin. So as this also trim that is like between red and black, and it has a pattern on it, which is also included in the air vents, is really, really cool. And I think this change color depend on the trim of the Equinox, so all that is good. Has this panoramic sunroof, have 2 cup holders. This mode driver selection here that goes from normal to sport to snow and ice, if I'm not mistaken. It has this dedicated cubby here for wireless charging, which I like because typically they are in the way, so this is only for your phone, and then have this extra cubby here that it looks pretty handy, and the center console seems deep and big enough. The glove box is also, it looks practical and functional. So the seats, as I said, are really comfortable and have this, it's like a leatherette that I think Chevrolet calls Ecotech or something like that. They are really nice looking and have blue and red contrast stitching and piping, so they make the seats to stand out. It's perforated in the center, so they are really good looking, and the headrests are really deep and they are really soft. I never seen something like this before, so that's kind of cool. There is I guess the biggest change on this cabin, besides the design and the simplicity and the straightforward looking cabin, which I really like, especially comparing with the previous model, are these two huge and beautiful screens. There is an 11-inch screen for your gauge cluster that you can have a few different views, and they all look really cool, and you can even have your maps there, which is kind of cool as well. And this 11.3 inches on the infotainment system. The graphics are so clear, so easy to see. The icons are big, and the responsive of the screen seems to work perfectly fine. I really like this. It's visually interesting. It looks really modern and up to date, and it's so clear. You have to see it. Please go to a Chevrolet dealership because you can only see it to understand. I'm sharing with you some videos so you can see it as well, but it's much better in person, I can assure you that. So that is really cool. The infotainment also has Google built in, which makes the maps Google Maps right there, and you can pinch and zoom and move around. It looks really responsive and really cool. So it's like having your phone in the screen there, and I think it's the right move from Chevrolet to add Google in their units. I fit behind myself based on my driving position here, and it's really roomy in the back. I have plenty of space and it is really comfortable, those seats. There is a center armrest as well. There is a lot of space, so for the size of this car and the segment, I think it's really competitive and really nice that you don't have to go to a bigger car to have such a comfortable back seat. The trunk, it looks pretty big to me as well. Obviously super practical. I'm sure there will be bigger and smaller in the class, but I think this is perfectly fine and it's really good. It looks big and usable, no issues. The lights, the car lights, you can control from the screen only. There used to be a knob here. They moved it, Chevrolet, to the screen, and this is happening in more and more models from the Chevrolet family, so it's here. At the beginning, there was a lot of people upset about it. Obviously, we are all used to a different way of finding the lights, but to me, at this point, it's type of remembering from left to right, and they are always visible, always there. You don't have to go to a menu to get to them, and you just press there and they are there, and you choose the function, which, by the way, you should always keep in auto. It's safer. So I'm okay with that. The other interesting thing is a shifter that has been moved to the steering column, and is similar to the old-fashioned shifters that we used to have. So you just pull to yourself and up for reverse, and to yourself and down to drive, and then you press here and it's parking. It's not necessarily my preferred way of having a shifter, but that's personal. I can tell you though, by using the car, when you are maneuvering with the car and you are parking, reversing, using the car is really easy. It's at your hands. You can almost one touch do the whole thing. It's at your reach. It's very well designed in terms of ergonomics. So on that side, it's really good. Also, Chevrolet added, by moving the shifter a second level in the center console here, so you have a lot more space and storage in the cabin, so it's all good. So in general, I really like this cabin. I think it's much better than the previous generation. It's probably better than many of the offerings in this class. I think this will attract a lot of buyers for Chevrolet. I personally really like this. This will turn me to Chevrolet as well. I'm really pleased with this, and I think Chevrolet is doing a great job and have done a great job with the Equinox 2025, but in general what they are doing with the products and in their interior, they are really putting the market on notice. So how is to drive the 2025 Chevrolet Equinox? Well, as soon as I got in the car and I start driving, immediately I noticed this is a quieter cabin comparing to the previous generation, which is good. You can tell it's a new platform. You can tell that Chevrolet is putting everything they have in here. So the steering weight is really light, it's really comfortable, and I think this is what most people is looking in their compact SUVs. I prefer a little bit heavier steering for my personal preference, but in general, this makes the car really comfortable and easy to drive. The steering wheel itself is really thick, and I like that because it gives you this, what fits perfectly in my hands. You have to try it. I like this, and it adds a little bit of a sporty feeling. I'm not talking about driving dynamics, but the fact that the steering looks great and it feels great in your hands. The suspension is also on the soft side, and in fact it's a little bit floaty, not bad, but obviously and clearly this is a comfort-oriented vehicle, which, by the way, General Motors makes really comfortable vehicles, and I think General Motors and Chevrolet customers are looking that because are used to that, so it's all good. So the visibility is great as well. The windows are big, and there is a little a little window in the C-pillar there, so it's cool. It feels airy and open, so that's very nice. Also the windshield I find really big. I think the design of the cabin, it makes a huge difference here as well. And the hood has this, I don't know, the design of the hood makes the car feel robust and makes you feel that you are driving something bigger and more, you know, with more presence in the road. By the way, I think this car looks great. The design is amazing. I love what the Chevrolet have done here this year. But from the cabin and from the driving perspective, it looks cool. It makes you feel like you are driving something, you know, that is there in the road and everybody will notice. I like that, and I like how it makes you feel from the driver's seat. The brakes feels nice and responsive. I like the effort here on the brakes and how quickly they engage, so they feel nice. The seats are very comfortable, and the headrest, I never felt such a soft headrest in my life. It's crazy. In terms of driving dynamics, this is, again, I think, fully oriented to comfort. I don't think Chevrolet is trying to win any race here or to position themselves as the most sporty SUV there. Good for you and for me. There are plenty of options, so you can find one that fits you if comfort is not your theme. But I can tell you, comfort is most people's things, especially in this segment. So the car, as I said, with the suspension, it leans here and there, so it's not a more tied down driving experience. And I guess it's designed for that, for comfort and for people not to worry about anything, not to think about anything, to get in the cabin and feel nice about it, and for the car not to be too invasive, which this is doing a great job on that. So it's good. I really like this brand new 2025 Chevrolet Equinox. It's really good looking, it's super quiet and comfortable, and it's full of tech. An excellent option.